Everybody, how are you doing? Brandon, I tried to go live on Minecraft. I couldn't do it, so you just get to talk to me. How y'all doing? Oh, today is a good day. Well, not really, but it's a good day. I feel good. My health is doing better. Hi, Brandon. How are you doing today? My wife is, she's doing good. Health wise, she's having episodes again. They're like fake strokes, so she starts mumbling. I'm doing good. It's just life is. I still cough all the time. My ribs are doing good, which is fantastic because I hated having pain. Yeah, she will. She has blood clots. She has a lot of blood clots in her leg. They still haven't gotten them cleared out yet. They were given medication some time to kick through and see if that cleared it out. She goes to the doctor Monday, so we'll find out more Monday. My doctor's appointment was today, which I completely missed because I forgot. I forgot, and it happens because I forget a lot of things. Comes with being old and killing brain cells when you're young. I don't feel bad for us, man. We're just getting old, and health sometimes kicks you. You know what I mean? It just happens. It seems like it's a lot, though. This year's been horrible for us. Let's see. In January, we had our dogs taken away by the city. And then in spring, the city came and made me get rid of all of my lawnmowers and clean up the yard and make my sister move because they were staying in a trailer in my driveway. They had to move into the house. So there was that. And then I started breaking ribs, and then my wife got sick, and I sat in a chair all summer. All summer I sat in a chair. But I still can't lay in bed. Hey, Zero, which is kind of horrible. I hate sleeping in a really small lazy boy that's not built for someone Sasquatch size, but it is what it is. Hey, Duolingo, how are y'all doing today? But things are kicking. It's, things are starting to happen. I'm feeling better. My breathing is completely destroyed again, which was just starting to get better. You know what I mean? But when you're old and you sit in a chair for 4 months and you're not allowed to do much, and every time you try to do something, it hurts. It happens. Your body gets old. You know what I mean? Or starts feeling old. Which, it happens, I guess. You know what I mean? I don't know. I've never been up in age before. It's all new to me. But I'm glad y'all are doing great, man, because life gets hard. Life really gets hard. And having a good attitude and good people around you and faith in God does help a lot. If you don't believe in God, that's your thing. You're missing out. Uh-oh. I think my doggy's in here. They took our other dogs. My wife, one of them was her, what is it called? Emotional animals, I guess. And we have one. She just doesn't like the camera. Imagine that, a YouTuber's dog that doesn't like the camera. Let's see, where's she at? Oh, She's laying on her bed. Look, see if we can get her. There she is. Billy. Billy girl. What are you doing? I'm going to try to do a live stream on Minecraft tomorrow. OP blocks. Yeah, emotional support animal. And a friend of ours said, hey man, do you want another dog? Because they didn't say we couldn't have dogs. They just took the ones that we had because we had a kennel attack. My one dog attacked and killed another one, so they just took all of them. 4 dogs was getting to be a little bit much, and keeping them separated was a pain to do. And things happened, and she's a beautiful dog. She doesn't bark. She doesn't, you tell her to sit, she sits. You can leave the door open and she doesn't go to it. She's a very friendly dog. She doesn't have any anger in her at all. No aggression, nothing. I've never heard her growl or bark except in her sleep, which is odd. She snorts like a pig, though. Go figure. She is a standard American bully. A true blue-nosed bully is what I was told. But, to me, she's just a couch potato, a land seal, a pig dog who just wants food and treats and lovin's. See, I like dogs in the house and I like cats outside. Cats are really great creatures. They're really great hunters. They're not really a people kind of animal. They have their own mind. And if you have an outside cat, that's fixed, of course, because you don't want to have 5 billion cats out there. They're good to keep your rodents away. You know what I mean? But like I said, I've never had a cat that liked me. I've had cats that would let me pet them and they'd come up to me. But to hang out on the couch like she does, no, not at all. Not to mention, I don't like finding, mice when I open my door and things like that. That's kind of yucky. Plus the litter boxes. I'm one of them people that's got to clean the litter box 400 times because I could smell it. And I'm not good with that. Some people are. I'm not really into it. Plus my wife is allergic to cats, I think. I'm not sure. Billy, quit licking yourself or the bed. Whichever you're licking, stop it. Yeah, she doesn't listen. Look. Quit it. Knock it off. Billy. She's a goofball. But like I said, the coffin is still there. It's not as bad. I'm not breaking ribs anymore, which is, thank God, because that was horrible. I've never had a broken bone in my body. And then I coughed really hard one day and I felt a snap in my side and I was like, ah! Went to the doctor. Sure enough, I broke a rib. And when that one healed, was almost healed, I broke another one. Different rib, not the same one. And that one hurt twice as bad. I was thinking, man, you don't want to break 2 ribs in a row. It really hurts. Zero. Cats don't like zero. That's horrible. And then right before this, like the pain was starting to go away from the second rib, I was all good. I could start doing things. Another coughing fit and I broke my 3rd rib. Now the 3rd one really hurt. It broke up in this area, but in my back, right under my shoulder blade. So I couldn't raise my arm. I couldn't do nothing. for almost 2 months now. But now I can move somewhat. I can still feel it popping in and out of place. I still can't lay down. Laying down is out of the question. That's not going to happen for a while, I don't think. That's why it's her bed and not mine. But that's pretty much my update. I'm going to start doing lawnmower stuff too. Because the lawnmower stuff, I really get it. I love riding my lawnmower. I made a video the other day of riding my lawnmower. I'm going to modify it, and I'm going to be running it through the yard. I'm building a track now that I feel better. I'm taking it nice and slow. I'm going to make video series on it of building like a little obstacle course and then a track around my yard. You know what I mean? Thank you, Evan. But it's coming along. I got a surprise today that I'm going to be doing a video on tomorrow, which is when they made me get rid of my lawnmowers. I had 13 lawnmowers. They were all riding lawnmowers. None of them ran. Some of them were antiques. Some of them were ones that I wanted to build into a really nice mud mower. I had a wheel horse that's what I was going to do with it, is build it into a really cool mud mower. I had an old antique Cub Cadet. I had a couple of other Craftsmans and some other, you know what I mean? And I had to get rid of all of them. One of them was my actual lawnmower that I cut the grass with, but the starter went out on it. And they told me if I couldn't get it started in 2 weeks, I had to get rid of them. Well, it ended up I only have one running lawnmower and it doesn't have a deck on it. Well, what happened today is possibly going to remedy that. Ooh. Yeah, breaking a rib is probably as painful as cracking your skull, except for like you feel it when you breathe. Or like I said, I couldn't lift my arm. Like I couldn't reach for anything with my left arm. I'm right-handed, so it was, okay-ish. But still, I'd point to my wife and I'd be like, ow! Or hand something to her, because in her bedroom, our old dining room, she sits to the left of me. So I just kept hurting myself every time I tried to do something. And that's gone. The pain's gone-ish. If I cough too much, then I start breathing heavy and then it starts hurting. And that's a pain. But it is what it is. I'm healing slowly. The reason for it, we still don't know. They think I have osteoporosis. I think it's because I don't drink milk. I've never drank milk. Exactly zero. Yeah, it's crazy when you're like just tossing something across the room. I couldn't do it. You know what I mean? And getting up, you use both arms to get out of the chair. No, I couldn't do that. It was a pain. It really was. It was painful and just agitating. I did not enjoy sitting in a chair for 4 months looking out the window. That was not my plan for the summer, which really kind of bums me out because there are things I wanted to do, like this weekend. This weekend is Top Tractor Challenge. It's 4 hours from me. I had plans all year of going. I had the lawnmower. I was going to put a gas pedal on and make it a little faster. I wasn't going to race, but just to go watch it and interact with other YouTubers that do tractors, like Tennessee Mountain Homestead is there. Red 02 is there. Craftsman Crusher is there. Rich is there. Hot Lap Garage. I mean, there's all these YouTubers that are going to be there that I can interact with. Hey, Games, what's happening? And I really wanted to go. And like I said, it's 4 hours from me and it costs $20 to get in. and it's tomorrow. Now, even though I took a little ride the other day on my lawnmower, I could still feel it, all the bouncing around and jostling. And I'm just thinking the 4-hour drive and then riding the lawnmower through the woods, walking through the woods. It was more than my doctor said don't do it because I could re-injure myself, and I'm cool without re-injuring myself. Oh, yeah. Why is a circle round? I thought I heard my wife. Because she should be asleep. What time is it? Oh, the wife is awake. Hold on a second. All right, if you need me, just holler, okay? I love you. The wife is awake, so if I leave early, it's because she needs me. Curves. I like curves. But yeah, I got so much stuff I wanted to do this summer that I have to cram into now and before it starts snowing. You know what I mean? Because I live in Ohio. It snows here. Sometimes it doesn't. My birthday's in January. Wow. That's quite a drive. But just watching the videos, it looks like it's a ton of fun. But I was going to go for the weekend and, hang out with other YouTubers and check out their mowers and interact and, get real friendships. I met Red02. He actually came here and bought, hey, there's my wife. Hi, wife. Red02 actually came here and bought my wheel horse, and we had an old Sears that he bought, and a parts mower that had the engine with it. So you know what I mean? I met him, and I was going to go there and hang out and help out if they needed someone to help them and stuff, which I was pumped for. But things happen. Nice. I actually have a lawnmower coming. It's from Indiana. It's my grandfather's mower that I rode when I was like 4. So like 49 years ago. Now it was in a fire, so it's not quite, together. But that leaves an open opportunity, and I've thought about this because it is it's a 1967 John Deere 112 round fender. Now, complete, not even running, just a complete one goes for like $800. A restored one is, see, a John Deere 112. See, I belong to that ATLTF. I gotta, bye, baby, I love you. Let me know if you need me. But the one I have, like I said, is my grandfather's. And that's the one I'm going to build into a beast. My pink one, I don't know if you guys ever watch a channel, it's one I was riding the other day, is my granddaughter's mower. Well, I don't know when I'm going to see my grandkids. So by the time I get to see them again, the pink one's going to be a crazy fast mower. And my grandpa's mower, like I said, I'm going to customize it. And I'm going to make a lot of people angry because it is a old school antique mower that could be worth money. Quadratic function is a type of line that forms a U shape. See, they didn't teach that when I didn't go to school. My grandpa just went to the ER earlier because he got tuberculosis. That's bad. Yeah, school I didn't really do. I'm 53 years old, and in the 80s, things were different. I quit school when I was 15, got emancipated from my parents, which meant I was on my own, and I just quit school and got a job at the steel mill. Nice. Ah, younger than your dad? Nice. Yeah, my granddaughter will be 7 in January, and my grandson will be a year in December, November, whichever. It's one of those two. Oh, my granddaughter will be 8. See? Okay, my wife said from the other room, my granddaughter will be 8, and my grandson will be a year on November 20th. See, that's why you got to get married. So when your mind starts slipping and you start forgetting things, you got someone to remind you. Nice. Eventually, the pink one, this winter, that pink one's getting torn down and rebuilt, and it's going to be nice. I signed up last January. I had an old parts tractor that I was gonna build for the contest. And it had to go when the city said everything's got to go. I had to get rid of it, so I had to cancel my build. And yeah, and then I started breaking ribs, so I didn't even get into anything. I put what are they? 23 by 8 by 12 tires on 12-inch rims for a Craftsman lawnmower, but I almost blew myself up trying to put them on. Oh, really? Nice. Uh-oh. Whoa, stuff rolling around on the desk. Bye, Zero. Be safe-ish. Always say safe-ish because you can be safe. But being real safe isn't a lot of fun. So be safe-ish. Yeah. Yeah, I tried the whole you spray the stuff in it and light it on fire, and I got beard and explosion. It was like, nope, we're not doing that again. Apparently, I am not redneck enough. And now that I have my grandpa's mower coming, I think I'm going to take the ATV tires off of those rims. See, lawnmowers are just like cars, only a lot simpler. And the reason you do the mudding of lawnmowers is because in most cases, it's cheaper than an ATV, and people, hey, how are you doing, my friend? The modding of mowers, it's cheaper than ATVs. And they are a lot of fun. They are a lot of fun. Plus, just seeing people. Okay, imagine this: I'm 6'4", I weigh 300 pounds, and I ride around my ghetto neighborhood on a pink lawnmower. Imagine if it went about 25, 30 miles an hour. The budget on the Win 12 build for me is going to be as cheaply as possible. Simply because I'm a poor white guy. All right, have a good one, Evan. I'm going to make a video on it. I had a video of me riding around on the pink mower the other day around my neighborhood. I found trails behind my house and I was making videos back there. And then they decided that they were going to cut down all the woods and cut it into 4x4s and 2x4s. So now all the trails we built back there, we can't ride on because there isn't anything there anymore. There's still going to be mud and all that stuff, but you know what I mean? Which is going to be fun once I start getting everything I wanted to do this summer done to my lawnmower. Because like I said, look. Well, there's her noises. Oh, such a silly dog. But she's paying attention to whatever it is out the window. Nice. Yeah, I have things planned with the lawnmowers, and like I said, I'm going to be doing some yard work, making the track and all of that now that I'm feeling better. Unfortunately, like I said, I don't feel good enough to go walking through the woods and riding around for hours in a car or anything like that. But next year, because I'm going to be building my lawnmower next year, my grandpa's mower, and that's going to be so much fun. Oh, I can't wait. I haven't seen it since I was like 4 or 5 years old. My grandpa had it in his garage under a tarp the rest of the time I knew him. She is a beautiful dog. She just doesn't like the camera. Like, I try to make videos of her, like when walking her, and she doesn't do well. I try to make videos of her just playing, and she runs and hides when I bring out the phone. I got to catch her when she ain't watching me. She must be going in there to see her mommy. Yeah, I got lawnmowers they're a lot of fun and they're just relaxing. I mean, just pulling around the yard is fun. But like I said, I sit here and I watch these guys. There's a whole group of them that ride around on four-wheelers and mini bikes all around the streets, and they go into the woods and all this other stuff. And I keep telling my wife, I was like, one of these days I'm going to get my lawnmower done, and they're going to pull down the street, and I'm going to pull out on that thing going about 35, 40 miles an hour, you know what I mean, and go have fun with a bunch of strangers that I don't know. Why? Because it's fun. It's something to do. Life's too short not to enjoy things. Regardless whether it's riding a lawnmower or something that you like to do it. Even if it's cheap and everybody, right? I got to get a helmet. The ribs I can deal with. I don't know about laying in the middle of the street. But yeah, once I get going to a 45, I actually even thought about what do you call it? So I tell you, all the dog does is eat and get treats. She went out there to get cookies for mommy because mommy's awake and came back in. Roll cage, maybe if I'm going more off-road, like heavy duty off-road. Hey, Tyler, how you doing? Now, this is a whole nother idea I have, is to build have a smash-up derby with lawnmowers. I have a big field next to me. It doesn't belong to me, but my neighbor doesn't mind if I use it. But you got to build some sort of protection on them, but have 4 lawnmowers that you and your friends come and have smash up derby on lawnmowers. I mean, I don't drink and nobody I hang out with drinks. So it's, you know what I mean? It's more just we having some fun. Me? No. I was never a troublemaker. Okay, maybe just a little. I used to drink and do drugs and all of that, and yeah, I don't do any of that anymore. I haven't done it I haven't had a drink in a decade. I haven't done drugs in 20 years. So yeah, there's that. But I may have been a troublemaker, but I only went to jail once, and I am 53, and I never got a felony. So it was a misdemeanor, shoplifting when I was 18 years old. See, here's the thing, is I grew up in the 80s where we didn't have cell phones and nobody was walking around like this. You know what I mean? So there was no video of it. There really wasn't. Computers were a thing, but they weren't really a thing. So you didn't have the internet pictures and videos and all like today. There were things that I did as a kid. The only people that know about them were the people that were there. Like burning down a field. Nobody remembers that except for the people that were there. How many girlfriends? I've been happily married for 20 years. Let's say that. And I was faithfully married for a decade before that to my first wife. There might have been a woman or two in between before marriage. We don't talk about that, man. There's no video proof of any of that. I enjoyed dating. At 6-ish, the doctor called me. No biggie, was probably done. I did not hear your phone ring, Tammy. I did. Why am I? You're right there. I didn't hear the phone ring. I'm sorry. I might have been in here trying to do a Minecraft video and they wouldn't let me on OP blocks today. If you're going to play Minecraft, don't do it on your phone. It's a pain in the butt. I don't know why I'm going to talk to her like she's not. She's in the other room, 3 rooms away, and I'm yelling at her. Silliness. Tammy's my wife. You played on Nintendo? Yeah, that's I I have a Nintendo or an Xbox. What is it? A 360? Is that what it's called? The one where you can get on the internet, but you can only play so much because they quit upgrading it. And that's when I started playing on my phone. My wife keeps trying to get me to sell mine, and I'm like, no. Because once I get it hooked up into the TV, we used to play Tiger Woods golf all the time, me and the wife. Well, what I don't like about it is you don't have the newer upgrades, like what is it, the Pale Forest? I love building with that wood. And there's a lot of upgrades they didn't have on it. I like the golf games and the driving games. My wife is great. I love her to death. Now, once she gets well and starts being able to walk around a lot better, she will enjoy life a lot more. Right now, she just pretty much sits in bed. There was a game I used to play, you would crash. Like you're driving down the road, you get as much speed as you can, and then you fly in the air and you crash as much stuff as you can to get as many points as you can. Me and my wife loved playing that game. We really liked playing that game because I could get better than that. And we'd sit for hours playing that. Same thing with golf. But then she started not feeling well and sleeping a lot. I had a PlayStation a long time ago. I think the only reason we got an Xbox 360 is because it was cheap. I had an Xbox One, but you couldn't buy anything for it. Everything you had to get digitally over the interwebs, and you couldn't get it if you didn't pay this amount of money. And I'm like, you know what? That is too high tech for me. I didn't have a credit card. I do now, but I didn't then. You know what I mean? And I'm not into, I don't know. I'm a cash guy. Actually, what I would love to do is just barter everything. You know what I mean? I remember days when you'd be like, hey, man, I like that car. Looks like you need your house painted. You'd paint a house and you'd get a car. Or, I did fence work for a truck. For what do you call it? It was a second gen Dodge 3/4 ton full size bed extended cab. I did a fence job for it and paid like $400. I look like Dreamy Bull Uncle. Well, I'm going to look different tomorrow because my anniversary's coming up, and my anniversary present to my wife every year is I shave all of this. Get rid of all this and all of this. So next couple days, I'm going to look way different. Well, because it makes her happy and she doesn't like this. I like it. I don't brush my hair. I don't like to brush my hair. I don't care. I'm married. I don't have anyone to really impress. You know what I mean? Oh no. She's under the desk. What you doing? Billy, what are you doing? Oh, don't lick my feet. That's yucky. Silly dog. I still got to clean up this room. But not being able to do much for months, it gets, I don't sleep in here anymore. So the only thing I do in here is my videos. So I don't bother my wife. No, you cannot eat Chloe's pillow. She's all the time finding toys. I caught her eating chalk the other day. And I put it up and she finds it and pulls it down. Oh, but look at that face. Look at that face. Her so cute. All right, that's enough licking, weirdo. Stop licking me. Stop licking me. I will check it out. Somebody once, I used to have long hair, and they told me I look like, what's his name? Mick Foley, the wrestler, Mankind. Are you snorting? Are you a pig? Are you a pig dog? Oh, now you want to fight? I'm not fighting you. You bit me last time. She gets so excited. She turned around and got my hand with her teeth, and she was like, she stood back and laid down, and I'm like, no, I'm not mad at you, baby. It's, it happens. I shouldn't stick my hand in your mouth. The goatee part, I trim it. I've had this part forever. I just trim it up. This is just laying around the house for a few months. And what's funny is my whole life I couldn't grow a beard. That's why I'm in no hurry to really shave it, because when I get it, I'm like, yeah, I'm a man. I could grow facial hair now. It only took me till I was 30. Still ain't got no chest hair, though. So with that. Oh. Sometimes it does not feel good at all. My wife says when I cough, I get a really cool shade of red that not many people get. Which I get. But that's another thing. They think that maybe just because I coughed so much for months, like 5 or 6 months, so hard, I sounded like a seal when I'd cough, that I weakened my ribs and they started breaking. I don't know. The nurses would get confused. After the first time, I went back the second time and I was like, I broke a rib. Just give me the x-ray, give me the pain pills. I'll go home and relax. And by pain pills, I give you like 6, which is fine. I don't want to take a bunch of pain pills. It's just the initial pain of breaking it. You need something. And I'm on blood thinners, so I can't take the great ibuprofen, which just gets rid of pain. So Tylenol is the other choice, and a freshly broken bone, Tylenol does not work. Now it does. And then the third time I even asked for more pain pills than normal because it hurt a lot longer. That's why I'm in no hurry to break another rib. The doctor has me on new medication, new breathing treatments, new inhalers I'm waiting for, and because everything can be solved by medication. Medication doesn't solve everything. Like I take anxiety medicine, which is good, because I used to get really freaked out and get angry. I'm too large to be angry all the time. And my wife noticed it and everything, so I started taking this medication. And one of the side effects of quitting taking it is electroshocks to the brain. Hey, Danny. Like if I just quit taking it, in 3 days, I'd start getting, they call it electric shocks to the brain, but what it feels like is you get hit really hard in the head. You start getting dizzy. You don't see right. You feel like you're going to pass out, and then it goes away, and then it comes back, and it goes away, and it comes back. That's what they call electroshocks to the brain. So, yeah, I make sure I take that medicine. Even though it stops me from being anxious and angry and depressed and all that, not taking it, and they said it could last months of having that, even if you cut down on it slowly and quit taking it. It's something that I'll have for 6 months. I'll have electroshocks to my brain. So medicine does fix things, but does it really fix things? You know what I mean? I'm not sure that I like taking it. I'm 100% sure I like not being depressed and all anxious and angry and quick to explode, and you know what I mean? Freak out. All right, Jessica, if you're leaving, you have a great day. I like that part of it, but it's something I have to take now. I can't stop taking it, which kind of really bothers me a lot because I don't want to have to take something because it's going to make me sick if I stop taking it. Yeah, that's how I was. I broke my first rib in the end of May, the beginning of June. I broke my second rib right after the 4th of July, and I broke my fifth rib, or my third rib, fifth. God, that would kill me. My third rib I broke the beginning of August, the middle of August. It's been almost 2 months since I broke my last rib. Like right now, just going like that, I felt it pop. That's weird. But like I said, the pain is going away. That guy just drove down the road on a golf cart. I've never seen a golf cart on my road before. I've seen all kinds of things like backhoes and lately a lot of semis and four-wheelers and dirt bikes, but I haven't seen a golf cart yet. That's kind of cool. I want to get one of those, but they're expensive too, unless you buy one that doesn't run. And I'm not a real mechanical person, whether it be cars or anything, because I didn't have anyone who taught me any of that growing up. My grandpa was a transmission mechanic, but he also had a farm, and anytime I was at his house, it was more helping him out. Wow. Yeah, they for me it was for ribs. Did you know that there's nothing they can do for ribs if you break them? Nothing. They give you my blood oxygen level is I have one of them testers at home now. Sitting in my chair, it's at 91. If I get up and move, it drops under 90. I've had it as low as 86 today, just getting up and walking around. But that's because my lungs are destroyed from smoking cigarettes, smoking the marijuanas, and I used to huff paint. Yes, just sitting, mine hasn't gone under 90-ish is about what it is, just sitting there. Which isn't bad enough for oxygen, which I'm grateful for. Yeah, you'd be not being able to breathe is a horrible thing. Like I'll get up and walk into the other room and have to stop and catch my breath. And when I get in there, I can't breathe. So not being able to breathe is a horrible thing. But yeah, my lungs, I look at it this way. That is all my fault. I started smoking cigarettes when I was like 9 or 10 years old. And I have COPD. But I started smoking when I was like 8 or 9, 10 maybe, but I think more around 9. But like I said, it was back in the early 80s, you know, early 80s. And dude, you could go to the store and be like, hey, man, my grandma sent me down here for a pack of cigarettes, or my dad wants a pack of cigarettes. Or you go to the grocery store and there's a machine right there at the door that you put in a couple bucks and pull a knob and a pack of cigarettes would come out. Bowling alleys, stores, convenience stores, all of that. It was much easier to get tobacco back then for kids. And then as I got a little older, I started smoking the marijuana. And that led to hanging out with this guy, and he would huff paint all the time. Just spray paint in a bag. And I was like, what's that do for you? And he said, try it. And I tried it for 30 years. Whenever I didn't have money for this or that, because it was cheap and you'd get you to where you wanted to be all day. It's stupid. Let's not talk about that. Don't do it. Don't do anything that's going to alter your mind, because it causes permanent damage. It causes damage to your lungs. I know you've heard people laugh. Oh, I forgot why I came in the kitchen. I am in the middle of conversations, and everything I'm talking about or everything that they've said disappears. I forget my wife's name. I keep my keys and my wallet. My wallet is attached to my keys, and I keep them in the door so that I always know where my keys are. They're in the front door. I ain't got to look for them. I know where they are. Not remembering how old my grandkids are. That's all because of killing brain cells. Not a smart idea. I don't suggest anyone doing it. Simply because it is a horrible thing to do. Where'd she go? I heard her. I don't know. So while you're young, take care of yourself. One point in thing. And even if you're not young, once you start getting older, keep exercising, keep moving. Keep doing stuff, because once you stop, it gets worse. Like before, granted, I was coughing a lot when I started breaking my ribs, but my breathing had gotten to where I could breathe better. I bought a push mower. I started mowing my grass, and I got a lot of grass for a push mower. And I started mowing my grass with it. And then I broke my rib and I couldn't start it anymore. And sitting in the chair since mid-May till I still sit in the chair. Now I get up more and I do more stuff. I'm actually want to start taking the dog for a walk, because I've had her since I started breaking ribs. And she knows how to walk on a chain, but she doesn't know how I want her to walk on a chain. You know what I mean? She does good, but she still lunges after things, and I don't want that, because like I got a granddaughter. If my granddaughter wants to take her for a walk, I want the dog to treat the walk, you know what I mean, where she's not pulling her down to the ground or anything else, because she is a very playful dog when it comes to other dogs. She is not aggressive. She's very happy towards other dogs, and she wants to go play with them. She's not that big of a dog, but she still weighs 80 pounds, and she is all muscle. There's 60 pounds. She's not quite 80, but she's all muscle. There's no, you know what I mean? If she wants to pull, she's pulling. We noticed, me and my brother-in-law were sitting there, and she jumped onto my wife's bed when my wife was in the hospital, running zoomies through the house, and she jumped a good 10 feet. Like in the air on the bed, didn't hit the footboard or anything, because it's a hospital bed. And we're like, oh, thank gosh she doesn't jump straight up, because she could, you know what I mean, jump over our fence. And the one day we have a door that separates our kitchen from our dining room because my brother-in-law, they live in the other room on this floor, and they have a dog. Well, their dog kept trying to hump my dog, and my dog expressed her dislike for that and started attacking him. And like I said, I've already dealt with one dog killing another dog, and I wasn't playing that game anymore. So I made sure that door stays locked. We we yell when we're letting one dog out so we don't get that confrontation. If it does happen, it may not even happen that way because his dog is a really good dog, and so is mine. But there was just that agitation, and I'm not even taking that chance. I've already lost 4 dogs because of one dog attacked and killed another. And I'm not going to play that game again. I'll never lose another dog like that. That was horrible. It put my wife in a very dark place for a while until we got her, until she came in and started hanging out. We had not borrowed. Somebody went to a hospital and we took their dog for them to take care of them. And he was a cool dog, and he got along with my dog. So, you know what I mean? Like I said, but that dog didn't try to do anything and understood that my dog was the boss. I hear her coming. Oh, she went outside with her uncle. But yeah, so we keep them separated. She loves my granddaughter, won't leave her alone. Was very interested in my grandson, but when he was here, he was only a few months old, so we didn't let them, really interact that much. Now I'd be very interested because he's almost 1. He's walking around and grabbing, and I think she would be very good with him because she's such a loving dog. And I really want to make a whole video series with her, but she doesn't even come in the room when I'm videoing. If she does, she's only here for a minute. I got a cough again. It just won't come out. I hate that too. St. Bernards, now those are some big old dogs. Don't they slobber a lot? Oh, there she is. Look. Billie Jean. Billy. Little Miss Fat Butt. Nope. She smells something out the window. She only slobbers when she eats. We had a Cane Corso. That dog slobbered everywhere. And he was a big boy. Yeah. St. Bernards are huge dogs. We're kind of happy with her. She's thick. She's not very big. She's nowhere near ankle high or knee high to me. Like I said, she's an American Bully, but she's on the small side. So she's about 60 to 70 pounds, but all muscle. She looks like a pit bull that just got out of prison. Oh yeah, that's you. Yeah, my wife would hate that. Maybe I should get one of those. No. You wouldn't go get a dog just because it would bother your wife. No, I couldn't afford to feed one of them things. What? What, beautiful? What, beautiful? Come here. No, I'm not giving you that pillow. She looked up at the pillow, looked at me, and I said no, so she left the room. 50 pounds a week? Wow. My dog eats like 50 pounds every 2 months, which is amazing because when I had 4 dogs, it was a lot. Not quite 50 pounds a week, but it was 100 pounds a month, easy. Because I had a Cane Corso, I had a full-blood Staffy, my American Staffordshire Terrier. She was the very aggressive, mean dog. She attacked my old dog, who was a Border Collie Jack Russell Terrier mix. She was my dog. Her and the Staffy were both my dogs. You know how you got the whole family owns this dog. No, the dogs have who they belong to. You know what I mean? Their favorite person. Her is her mommy. She follows me around everywhere, but that's mommy's dog. Huh, princess. She doesn't even look at me. When she does, it's a side eye. I hear something in the attic, and there's no one up there. Actually, it's not really an attic. I live in a 4-bedroom house, and I sleep in the dining room with my wife because we put her hospital bed next to the bathroom in the dining room, and my sister and her husband sleep in the other room that's downstairs. So we have 2 bedrooms upstairs and a common room upstairs that just don't get used. My wife hasn't been up there since we bought the house. And we've had this house for 12 years, something like that. And she hasn't been up there since we bought it. Really? Yeah, I don't have a washer and dryer. I wash my clothes in a bucket and throw my clothes on a chair in front of the window. But I don't know. Once my wife got sick and I became her 24/7 caretaker, I had to quit working and take care of her because we don't have anyone else that can take care of her. So it is what it is. I used to have a fence repair business because I may not know how to do a lot of things, but I could put up a fence in my sleep. Still, without being able to breathe, I could put up a fence. Not really. Not being able to breathe stops a lot of things. And we had a washer and dryer, but they break. And once they broke, it was right after I quit working and I didn't have the money to get them. And the free sites around here, that stuff's gone. Like you say, hey, yeah, all right, I'll come and get oh no, it's already gone. It's crazy how fast, and I went to the flea market and there's people selling the food they got from food banks at the flea market. Like you just got all that for free and you're selling it. Now I kind of have an idea for doing that. Not food, but I want to go to churches and Ask people, like, if they're cleaning out their garage, like spring cleaning. If you have a closet that has stuff, or your attic of stuff that you're not going to use, donate it to me, and I'll sell it super cheap at the flea market. You know what I mean? Like, the most expensive thing I would sell would be like $3, $4. You know what I mean? Give away books for kids, clothes, toys, all of that is free. Take it. Um, but just sell like some stuff. And for $1 or $2, not for a whole lot. And take that money and give half of it back to whatever church, and take the other half and pay for free water, free sandwiches. You know what I mean? Have a couple chairs and just have people to just come and sit and talk. You know what I mean? If you're having a bad day, let's sit and have a glass of water. You know, here, have a fresh bottle of water and a sandwich. Let's have a conversation. You know, if it's about God, it's about God. If it is about tractors, it's about tractors. If it, if it makes somebody's day just to have a conversation and walk away feeling better, it's worth it. You know what I mean? But it is a way to, and like the flea market here is on Sundays. So if I go there on a Sunday, all those people aren't going to church, but I could be there, and talk about God with them if they want. They don't have to, you know what I mean? I'm not going to beat anybody with a Bible, because there's enough Christians that do that. I'm there if you want to talk about God. I'll talk about God with you. You know what I mean? But I'm certainly not going to beat anybody with a Bible, and I'm not the one who's going to, oh, you're homosexual. What says right here? You know what it says right there. You don't need me telling you what it says. You know what I mean? And I really don't care if you are. That's not my problem. That's between you and God. That ain't got nothing to do with me. So my opinion about somebody isn't more than, I love everybody simply because I have to. I can't have hate in my life. Hate is a horrible thing. I used to be the guy that I don't hold a grudge because I have so many I can't carry. I would build shelves, glass, with lights and music for all of my grudges. And it's a horrible way to live. Having hatred in your heart is horrible because it will destroy you. And that's not even a religious thing, man. That's just, it will destroy you. It gets into you. Eats into you, and then you're just a jerk all the time. You know what I mean? And I mean, I don't mind being the occasional jerk. Trust me, I could be a jerk. But as Grandma said, you get more flies with honey than you do with vinegar. And that's why I try to be happy all the time. It's not an act. Dude, I've been miserable most of my life. And the only thing being miserable has gotten me is being miserable. You know what I mean? I don't have any friends because, well, for other reasons. I have a problem. I learn how people are. Like, if there's a snake in the grass, a snake does shed its skin, but only because it's growing. And when it sheds its skin, it's still a snake. It doesn't change. So if somebody reveals that they're a snake to you, you have to decide how you want to handle that. All right, I'll be here for a little bit longer. My back's starting to hurt and my ribs are starting to hurt from not sitting in the chair the correct way. And this chair hurts. Where was I? Dang it. Poof, there it goes. I call it Swiss cheese brain. because it feels like things just fall into a hole. But as far as the channel goes, I'm not gonna start a second channel. Everything on my channel is me. I enjoy playing Minecraft. It's great fun to me to play Minecraft. Am I good at it? No, not at all. I'm very horrible at Minecraft. But I really enjoy playing Minecraft. Reading my Bible and praying, it makes me feel good. It gives me happiness. Lawnmowers, I really enjoy. And as far as talking about my depression and things that are going on, I don't do it to whine. I do it because I know I'm not the only one that feels that way. I know that I'm not the only one that's depressed or that doesn't watch the news anymore because it's not worth watching. There's so much hate in the news and in social media now that I don't care to watch it. I'm barely on Facebook. I go on there to look at friends and family, and then I get off of it. YouTube, I watch supercars, lawnmower stuff, and I am a big supporter of younger people that are trying to do the YouTube thing. And I'll watch their lives, even if I don't pay attention to what they're doing. It's, somebody, I'll set down my phone and listen and watch TV. You know what I mean? To where they still get because to get paid from YouTube is crazy. You got to do some, jump through hoops and learn how to breathe fire and tiptoe and hula dance, and there's just it's to get 500 to get the first level of things where I could start if I was selling things. 123 subs is not bad at all. It took me quite a while to get there. Yeah, I don't know if I could hula dance. I had a job once, though, at a toy factory putting hula hoops together. I had that job for 3 days. Then I did not have that job anymore. It was just so boring. You sit there and you ground it out, put it together, put it there. 8 hours a day. That was a very boring job. I did not like it, but it made money. Jobs, I've had so many different jobs that I could say that I could do just about everything in the world, except for doctoring and lawyering. Definitely couldn't be a teacher. Mathematicals. But see, that's something else. At my age, my math was way different than the math y'all are learning. Crazy different. But yeah, it's the main thing is you just got to do things that make you happy. And I've thought about cutting up, going to another channel to do my Bible stuff, or another channel to do the Minecraft stuff, or another channel to do the lawnmower stuff. But it's all me. It's all things that I enjoy. And even though the channel's called Chloe's Grandpa, it's about me. You know what I mean? Oh, yeah, you got to be careful with tires. What are they? Split rim tires? Yeah, I've seen those explode. Like trying to change them and they explode. The place that I used to work at, they put a cage. They built a cage in the ground in the cement that you put the split rim tires in to do them. So if they exploded, it was safe for you. Yeah, tires could be dangerous, and you don't even think about changing the tire to be dangerous. Like I said, I tried to do the ATV tires on my lawnmower rims and almost blew myself up. And I'm cool without ever trying that redneck stuff again. Well, once I shave, then I'll have less to catch on fire. But no, I have another plan for those rims and tires. Oh, I can't wait. Should be next month sometime. I'll be getting that lawnmower. I have a secret surprise tomorrow. Can't wait. I'll be making a video on that because can an idiot make a will it run video on a lawnmower that's been sitting for 3 years? Oh yeah. Yeah, what was mine? I had a 95 Chevy, and you know how the spare tires are underneath the bed? Well, it was rusted in there, and I had to beat on it, and then the thing broke and it fell down on me. It was funny. I laughed. The guy standing there laughed, and then I got out from underneath the truck and had a whole bloody face, and then we laughed even harder. You know, because men. I watched a thing on the news or on a little snippet on the shorts because, you know, I still doom scroll. And it came across, it said 2 men from Arkansas were arrested for after going to the bar, they were both wearing bulletproof vests and they were shooting each other. Now that is some man stuff right there. Yeah, mine was really rusty. Actually, the cab mounts broke, and you know, it's the last truck I owned. We had to sell it to. What did we have to sell it for? To pay our gas bill or something like that? Uh-oh. The dog's causing trouble. Mommy's yelling at her. Billie Jean, come here. Don't laugh at me. Wet the lips. Wet the lips. Billy. Oh, goodness gravy. Oh. All right. I'm not going to try to whistle anymore. I've never been able to whistle. I don't get it. Hopefully that was a fly or something. Not I'm starting to see things. We don't want that. And the dog didn't even come, so forget her. Hold on, I got to catch my breath. Too much funny. Too much funny. Way too much funny. But yeah, I'm not doing another channel. I'm doing my Bible reading every morning, my little snippets of Bible verses, prayers when God gives me a prayer to pray. It may be every day. It may not be every day. It's kind of depends on God and what he puts in my heart to do. The Bible reading every day that I can read, I will. Now, there was a small issue that really got to me because I wasn't getting any views on my Bible reading or any of that. And I was starting to freak out because my Minecraft videos were getting all these views. And I'm like, well, that's great. But I really, you know what I mean? I don't want to. All right, games, you have a great night. Sleep well and be safe-ish. All right? And remember, God loves you and so do I, bro. Have a great night. And I couldn't figure out why I wasn't getting any views, and it was really getting on me. And I quit doing videos for a couple of days. I quit doing the Bible read videos for a minute because things started getting real. I was blaming myself for a lot of stuff that was going on with my health and my wife's health. And I thought it was more my fault because I wasn't doing something right, and it found out I was just an idiot and had things set to private and set them to public, and it's fine now. Because I haven't always been a good person at all. In the least, for a very long time, I wasn't a good person at all. Me and God actually had an understanding. He stayed out of my house and I stayed out of his. For a very long time, we had that understanding. And then God broke that understanding, and I woke up one day and said, hey, I got to go to church because God told me in a dream to get up and go to church. And my life has changed. Am I still washing my clothes in a 5-gallon bucket? Yes. Yes, I am. But I have laundry detergent now. I'm not using dish soap because of the blessing that somebody gave me. Okay, it may seem like God isn't listening or God isn't paying attention, but he is. And I found that some of the blessings that you get, some of them aren't meant for you at all. Some of the blessings you get are like a blessing for you to bless somebody else. Or, you know what I mean? If you're just struggling and you're constantly upbeat and joyful, that's a blessing in itself to other people so that they see that you may be struggling, but you're still doing it. You're still every day fighting. You know what I mean? But for a while, I felt like I wasn't worthy of all of the joy and the happiness and my health, my breaking of ribs and not being able to do anything and not being able to breathe was all part of my unworthiness. And then my wife getting sick was all, you know what I mean? Our fault. Now, come to find out, I know you guys have heard it, that God works in mysterious ways. 100%. Okay? I broke 3 ribs, one after the other. I've talked about it before. Okay? Now, they've taken x-rays in every single angle that they possibly can. All right? Now, these broken ribs are painful, and they put me in a chair, and I had to sit there, and I couldn't do just about anything. And still, like right now, breathing in deep, I can feel my ribs popping in and out of place. It's painful and very uncomfortable. But all of those x-rays and CAT scans and all of that, they revealed two other problems that I didn't know I had. I have a nodule on my adrenal gland. Now, it could be cancer, but the chances of it being cancer are very rare. So there's still that chance that it could be cancer. But I would have never known it if I wouldn't have had all these broken ribs and gotten all these CAT scans and got all these angles of x-rays and move this way and stand this way and do this. You know what I mean? And they found an aneurysm next to my heart that I don't know if it's grown or not. I have to go see that doctor coming up on the beginning of November. Wait, this is October. Yeah, the beginning of November. I find out if it's grown. If it has, then they're going to do open chest surgery and fix it. If it hasn't grown, then it's not that big of a thing. So those two things were revealed through all the x-rays and testing. So even though the broken ribs were painful, still are painful at times, and I sat in a chair for 4 months, they revealed worse things that can be fixed. The earlier they're fixed, the better. So I take that as a blessing from God, even though it's all this pain and all this not doing anything and sitting in a chair and all this. It revealed worse things that can kill me. You know what I mean? A broken rib isn't going to kill me unless it punctures my lung, and none of that happened. My wife, she went to the hospital with pains in her leg. Now, she has a blood clotting disease. She has 4 stents or 5 stents and a net over her heart. Well, she started having leg pain, like her leg from half calf down was red and swelled up, and her toes were purple. So I made her go to the hospital. Well, she went to the hospital, found out she has a blockage in her leg. And they found out something worse. She had a blood clot had gone to her heart. So she almost died. She had cardiac arrest in the hospital. She almost died. And granted, as sucky as it is that she has blood clots in her leg, if we wouldn't have made her go to the hospital because of her leg, we would have never known about the one in her heart. And she would have died sitting in her bed. You know what I mean? So even though she's still having trouble walking, she's got to go to all these other doctors. She had another stent put in, and she's on medication now to help get that blockage done. Now, she still might have to have surgery on it. We don't know, but she's not in any fear of losing her leg or anything like that. So it's almost like a blessing came out of that also. Now she has stroke-like episodes. They're not real strokes. They're TMI strokes. I think that's what they're called. Where she has all of the actions of a stroke, but it's not a stroke. It's not life-threatening at all. It's pretty much, she starts slurring her speech, talking real slow, and she goes, "Ruff," and her face starts deforming a little bit. She lays down, goes to sleep, and just relaxes and rests, and it goes away. They're harmless. They're not life-threatening. They said it's her brain reliving a trauma. Yay. But that in itself it's weird. It to me, it's like out of really horrible things, God blesses us, which is crazy. Because you wouldn't think of something really horrible happening, like broken ribs, that I would look at finding a nodule or an aneurysm next to my heart as a blessing, but I didn't know they were there. Nobody did. You know what I mean? So it's sure, I went through the pain of broken ribs, but now I know these other things are there that without being taken care of could possibly kill me. You know what I mean? Which is crazy to think about. And I thank God that all of this happened, as crazy as that sounds, because I know that God's got to have his hand in it. You know what I mean? He has to. Same thing with my wife's health. She is getting better. She's getting up and doing more. Now she's been bedridden for quite some time, so she's not up running around or anything, but she's up doing more. She has more. We laugh more. We spend more time together. She's awake more. She eats, which is amazing. And you know what I mean? She's happier. She's still not, like I said, she's still not up running around or anything. She still needs help doing just about everything. But she's starting to do stuff on her own, which is amazing. And that's because of God. So remember this, even in the worst of times, the worst of storms, there's a reason for it. God has a reason. Is it going to reveal cancer? Maybe not. Maybe it will. You know what I mean? Who knows? All I know is that without broken ribs, I wouldn't know that I have a growth on my adrenal gland. Heck, I didn't even know what an adrenal gland was. Or we wouldn't have known that there was a blood clot in my wife's heart that almost killed her 3 hours after she went to the hospital. You know what I mean? So yeah. Sometimes some really bad storms are just the entrance to a blessing from God. And I'm working on some things that I have to work through. Like, I never thought of myself as a prideful person because I just never did. But I wasn't aware that, like, I'm not the guy to ask anybody for anything. Ever. And there's reasons for that. I've walked around. Sorry, I'm starting to get really uncomfortable. I've walked around my yard. I have weeds that are 8 foot tall because I haven't been able to do anything in my backyard. And I've asked people, and they don't help me. I've asked people to come and help me do everything. Like I haven't vacuumed my floor since May. My neighbor mows my grass. There's weeks I don't take my trash out because I couldn't walk and take the trash out. My brother-in-law had to do it. But he is my sister's caretaker. You know what I mean? So he has his own whole set of worries that he worries about. My sister has degenerative knee arthritis or something. Her knees don't hold her weight anymore. So she can't really get up and do much. She's 2 years younger than me. Luckily, I just have regular old arthritis from an injury. Yay me. which hasn't really bothered me that much. But then again, I haven't been up doing much. But a friend of mine pointed out that part of that, of me not asking for help when I truly need it, is pride. And I never thought of it. Excuse me. I never thought of it that way. Well, now I do. But there is new content coming. Every day I'm going to try to play Minecraft of some sort. Today I tried to play OP blocks. I couldn't do it. It wouldn't. Bedrock is not playing nice with that server. I don't know who's responsible for it. Somebody is, but it is what it is. There's going to be more lawnmower tractor content coming. There's going to be me working in the yard, building the obstacle course coming before it gets snowy. I want to build a mud pit right here next to my house, right there. For riding the lawnmowers in. I'm going to build a fast track around my house because my neighbor said, "Oh, racing lawnmowers, those are loud. You can't have those here." So I'm going to build the track to go all the way around my yard. Not that I'm a jerk, but dude, I've lived here for over a decade. See you later. Have a great day and God bless. Remember, God loves you and so do I. But there's going to be more of that content coming. I have a whole series that I'm going to start tomorrow if things work the way they do. And that's a whole nother thing with God. I pray that God gives me blessings that I deserve. And God does every day. Now, I'm also not the guy who says, "Oh, I want a brand new truck." I want a square body Chevy. It doesn't matter to me what good a shape it's in. I actually would prefer a Blazer or a Suburban. Simply because I'm a big fella and I have grandkids. You know what I mean? I may not see them often. Heck, I don't know. I might not even see them for a decade. But when I do see them, I want to be able to go pick them up. You know what I mean? And I haven't had a vehicle in almost a year. It's coming on a year since I've had a vehicle. Yeah, that's great. But you know what I mean? I'll get into that story tomorrow. I'm going to be getting off here soon because I'm really starting to get sore and hurt. And I need to go check on the wife and make sure she doesn't need everything or anything. But yeah, there's a lot more content coming out. I'm going to keep doing the Bible reading. I'm going to keep doing the prayers when they come to me. I'm going to keep doing the little snippets of Bible verses. I'm going to keep doing the Minecraft, and I'm going to do the lawnmower stuff because all of it is how I deal with me. It's all things I enjoy doing. It's how I deal with all the blah, 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 blah in my head. So just hold on because there's a lot of new things coming. A lot of stuff is coming on. All right. Oh gosh, it's almost been 2 hours. Man, I talk too much. All right, y'all. I'm out of here. Y'all have a great night and God bless. And always remember, God loves you and so do I. Bye.